Diamantes, eternos, sublimes, símbolos do amor. Eles vêm em diferentes cores, formas e tamanhos. Seu valor é definido por quilate, corte e claridade. São as gemas mais preciosas do mundo. Mas na África Central e Ocidental, seu custo é maior do que se imagina.
Literally millions of people have lost their lives as a result of blood diamonds.
Diamantes financiando guerras.
You hear people crying, rebels attacking them, women being brutalized, people being shot at.
Diamantes conectados a terroristas.
The connection between Al-Qaeda and diamonds first came to my attention shortly after the 9/11 attacks.
É uma história que poucos conhecem.
If you ask anyone on the street passing by, where did you get your diamond ring? They're going to say down at the corner jewelry store.
Esta é a história dos Diamantes de Sangue. Diamantes de Sangue. É uma terra de contradições. Localizada na costa oeste da África, Sierra Leone é uma das nações mais pobres do planeta. O país é o penúltimo colocado no Índice de Desenvolvimento Humano da ONU. E a renda média de sua população é de $220 por ano. Ao mesmo tempo, Sierra Leone é rica em recursos naturais. A exuberante mata tropical estende-se por todo o país. Sob seu solo fértil, encontra-se uma das gemas mais procuradas do mundo.
The value of Sierra Leone diamonds is about $200 a carat on average, which is a lot bigger, a lot higher than other diamonds. Diamond dealers, people who know about diamonds, say that Sierra Leone diamonds are special. They have a special light to them, special color.
É uma terra assolada pela miséria. A descoberta de diamantes deveria trazer grande riqueza.
The pedigree of being a diamondiferous country has always been a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's a blessing because it brings with it the promise of vast wealth and riches that can be lavished upon the people of the country. But on the other hand, it also invites chaos.
Mas em Sierra Leone, a descoberta de diamantes trouxe o caos. De 1991 a 2001, o país presenciou uma violenta guerra entre as forças do governo e o grupo rebelde conhecido como Frente Revolucionária Unida, ou RUF. Uma guerra financiada, em parte, por diamantes.
They said they were fighting for democracy, but they fought against civilians. And they used diamonds to fuel the whole thing. They used diamonds to get the guns to fight the war.
Estima-se que 75 mil tenham sido mortos, muitas vezes de maneira brutal. 2 milhões de pessoas, quase metade da população, foram expulsas de suas casas.
It was the most ruthless rebel war in modern history.
Hoje, os sobreviventes do violento conflito estão espalhados por vilarejos e cidades superpovoadas. O trauma da brutalidade da guerra ainda é visível nos rostos das vítimas de violência física e emocional.
The war in Sierra Leone did huge damage to the physical infrastructure. It certainly did huge damage to people and to people's lives. There's hardly anybody who hasn't got an atrocity story to tell.
That very day, whenever I took me to hand, the way I feel, I don't maybe expect say I go able to deal on coincides or accidents of what discuss between nobody. Because sitting and finish in one time.
Antes da guerra, Ibrahim Fofana trabalhava como minerador, extraindo diamantes brutos no distrito de Kono, em Sierra Leone. Em abril de 1998, seu vilarejo foi atacado pela RUF.
The rebels they all then come inside the town. Then get full combat. And then get full weapon RPK.
Os rebeldes confrontaram o vizinho de Ibrahim.
Now they didn't know that soldiers say that man for key and diamond. And the boy say, brother, I say diamond no dey. After me out to the next house make that man go one side, then they knock the block. Then fire that man, they die. Still people then they parrot. I've been there in a booth. The woman will be picking in a house. Because the whole time they go inside lock, will not get weekend for commodities.
Separado da família, Ibrahim foi capturado junto com outros aldeões.
And the word I try for tell them, all we told for the come another head, time when at Sumbudu, we told for the one who reach, who meet and know other people and pack them for one house.
Ibrahim e outros 5 homens foram amarrados do lado de fora da casa.
Put them in that house, they went about 53. After I don't put fire in that house.
Apesar de ter sido poupado da morte, ele seria vítima de um terrível ato de crueldade.
The mother said to be being one of the people then, who they on politics for put marble for Tiankaba, we make it succeed, they win. So we are the both of them. So Tiankaba don't get one bounce the hands then. More candidates go so say we no more be politician for put for any candidate of this country. I do all can cry a holla, but the very people in there among that then so I love them, they love them. They say me and I said this you not get for right. I do come there and check bank beside them are weakened. And I said this first time and learn about how they then cut time. Did this back then cut time.
Após ser deixado para morrer, Ibrahim arrastou-se até um local seguro. Mais tarde, ele descobriu o destino de sua família.
What happened with them way then they did? After they don't hold me, then serve them put them inside house and put fire there before they move with me. So I will do that movement. I don't know how, what them want and then do.
Hoje, Ibrahim vive em um acampamento para feridos de guerra e mutilados, um dos muitos espalhados pelo país. Em Serra Leone, mais de 10.000 pessoas tiveram um destino parecido com o de Ibrahim. A mutilação de civis era a marca registrada da RUF.
They committed every war crime in the Geneva Conventions and then invented one of their own, intentional mutilation of non-combatant civilians.
Mãos e pernas eram os alvos mais visados. Mas nenhuma parte do corpo estava imune aos machados e facões dos rebeldes.
And the whole purpose of it was to serve a military strategy, to induce tectonic plate shifts of population flow away from the areas that the RUF wanted under its control. And of course that was just the diamond mines.
Na década de 90, a África foi assolada por inúmeras guerras e casos de abuso aos direitos humanos. Angola, Libéria e a República Democrática do Congo também foram devastadas por sangrentas guerras civis. No total, estima-se que 4 milhões de pessoas tenham sido mortas. O denominador comum destes conflitos era a moeda utilizada para financiá-los: diamantes.
Conflict diamonds are diamonds that are mined and sold by rebel movements, particularly in Africa, and that are used to finance arms purchases.
Very, very fashion diamond. Where they go will connect and find diamond. Now the only place where they support for them, they go get support them from out through diamond. Belief is a for na feed everybody like as for make you put them, you don't forget support them. Like this word on the launches, man like never forget got time.
The human cost of blood diamonds in Africa has been immense. Literally millions of people have lost their lives as a result of conflict and blood diamonds, and appalling atrocities have occurred, from the hacking off of arms and legs in Sierra Leone to terrible massacres in Angola to just widespread destruction.
So what good have those deposits brought to those countries? None. They've been a curse. What have people got who've lived in the conflict zones? Generally, you'd have to say misery, enslavement, death, disease.
Enquanto os cidadãos sofriam em 4 zonas de guerra africanas, os diamantes desses países eram comercializados livremente no mercado mundial.
Our estimates are that 10 to 15%, possibly even higher, of the world diamond trade was blood diamonds.
Até hoje, os diamantes de sangue extraídos na década de 90 são exibidos nos anéis e colares de consumidores inocentes, que desconhecem a violenta origem destas pedras.
A conflict diamond doesn't come with a little tag on it that says conflict diamond. I am from a war zone. It doesn't have a little sort of like skull and crossbones nicked in the side. It's just another piece of rough.
If you ask anyone on the street passing by, where did you get your diamond ring, they're going to say down at the corner jewelry store. They're never going to know beyond that where the diamond originated.
A história de como os diamantes começaram a ser comercializados está diretamente ligada à companhia que transformou uma simples pedra em uma indústria multibilionária. Um diamante lapidado com perfeição é resultado de bom gosto e talento artístico. Também é um negócio lucrativo. Para satisfazer um público ávido por diamantes, existe uma gigantesca indústria mundial. Botsuana, Rússia, África do Sul e Canadá são os maiores produtores de diamantes do mundo. Mas existem jazidas diamantíferas em mais de 20 países que produzem cerca de 20 toneladas de gemas de qualidade por ano.
This started out as a 250 carat piece of rough out of the Congo. It was a complicated piece. Came out flawless, over 100 carats. In today's market, a stone like this is probably a $15 million diamond.
Originalmente, os diamantes são pedras brutas, cortadas e polidas por artesãos até virarem joias preciosas.
Working on big diamonds like that is very nerve-wracking.
É um negócio de alto risco. O verdadeiro valor de cada pedra é desconhecido até que ela chegue à roda de polimento.
This one I'm working on over here will be an oval or a pear shape. Started off 20 carats and it'll finish around about 7.
O mercado mais lucrativo para a indústria de diamantes está nos Estados Unidos, onde metade da produção mundial é vendida. A venda de diamantes rende mais de 60 bilhões de dólares por ano em todo o mundo. A paixão da humanidade por diamantes começou há 2.500 anos. Durante muito tempo, os diamantes foram um luxo exclusivo de reis, aristocratas e pessoas extremamente ricas. Poucos podiam comprá-los. As descobertas de diamantes eram raras e ocorriam apenas nas margens ou no fundo do leito de rios. A verdadeira fonte das gemas permaneceu desconhecida até o século XIX.
The modern diamond business originated in Africa. It originated with the big 19th century African diamond discovery.
Em 1869, um diamante de 83,5 quilates foi descoberto perto do rio Orange, na África do Sul. O que se seguiu foi uma caça ao diamante sem precedentes. Em 1873, após a chegada de milhares de exploradores, foi fundada a cidade mineradora de Kimberley. Este foi o local da maior descoberta da história dos diamantes.
The main significance of the Kimberley mine is it's the first time that people identified the true diamond source.
A fonte de diamantes é uma chaminé vulcânica subterrânea batizada com o nome da cidade onde foi descoberta.
Diamonds are created in the upper mantle. They're transported from this 100-mile deep part of the upper mantle to the surface in a kind of volcano called a kimberlite pipe. Under exactly the right conditions, a fairly rapid ascent with exactly steady conditions of pressure and temperature, that little volcano, that kimberlite pipe, will deliver to the surface a stream of diamonds.
A primeira chaminé de kimberlito foi descoberta em Kimberley. Em pouco tempo, esta descoberta possibilitou a viabilidade da mineração em escala industrial. A maior chaminé de kimberlito foi encontrada na fazenda de dois irmãos ingênuos.
Well, the original De Beers brothers were just farmers. Diamonds were discovered on their land. A syndicate was formed and bought them out.
Os irmãos receberam o valor de 630 libras pelas terras,
which they no doubt thought of as a stupefying sum at the time, and probably got into their wagons and rode off down the dusty road, thinking what a wonderful deal they'd done.
Em retrospecto, eles poderiam ter lucrado muito mais. A fazenda dos irmãos De Beers viria a produzir 14 milhões e meio de quilates de diamantes. No início, a indústria de diamantes era um agrupamento desorganizado de pequenas empresas e indivíduos reivindicando terras diamantíferas, mas poucos possuíam a sagacidade do empreendedor britânico Cecil Rhodes.
His vision was to create a titanic empire in which he would control not just the diamonds in his claim, but the diamonds in the next claim next door, and the one beyond that, and the one beyond that.
Rhodes percebeu a ameaça de uma indústria de diamantes sem restrições.
Once diamonds started coming online as much as they did in the late 1800s, it was clear to him that the price of diamonds was going to crash if all of the diamonds ever discovered were put on market.
Rhodes acreditava que poderia evitar isto com a criação de um monopólio mundial. Durante uma década, ele dominou a concorrência. Em 1888, ele fundou a De Beers Consolidated Mines, batizada com o nome dos irmãos em cujas terras os diamantes foram descobertos.
And by the age of 35 in 1888, he controlled 90% of the world production of diamonds. The monopoly was charged with hoarding the diamonds and controlling the supply to be right in line with demand.
We have an idea that diamonds are rare, but they're not. What created the value in diamonds is withholding the supply, making sure that the supply is regulated and there's never a flood of diamonds on the market. That's one thing that De Beers did right from the beginning.
Com o tempo, a demanda cresceu graças a uma inteligente campanha publicitária da De Beers. Em 1948, sob a direção de Ernest Oppenheimer, a De Beers lançou uma das mais poderosas campanhas publicitárias da história. Um diamante é para sempre era uma frase simples, mas convincente.
His genius was in coming up with the advertising campaign that made a diamond synonymous with human love, and in particular, the right of marriage and engagement. Because he rightly concluded that he could get people to pay quite a bit of their percentage of their income to buy a diamond in order to pledge their love.
A De Beers controlava o monopólio através de seu braço comercial, renomeado Diamond Trading Company. A sede londrina tornou-se o destino final de todos os diamantes extraídos ou comprados pela De Beers. É neste local que os diamantes brutos da companhia são selecionados, avaliados, misturados, estocados e vendidos.
De Beers sells its diamonds in London 10 times a year at a sale called a site, because it's the first site you get of the diamonds.
To this day, people can't believe you send the money first and then you get your product. But I guess that reiterates the importance of supply. You have the goods, you're king. If you own the mines, if you own the product, you're the boss.
De Beers tells them pretty much what the price is going to be, and that's the end of it. You can either pay the price and go home with the goods, or refuse to pay the price and you'd probably never be invited to another site again.
Por quase um século, a De Beers controlou 90% dos diamantes brutos do mundo. mas seu modelo de negócios tinha algumas falhas.
There was a thought in De Beers, or policy in De Beers until the late 1990s, that the company really had to control most of the diamonds that were produced in the world. And that meant mopping up supplies of diamonds no matter where they were produced, no matter how they came onto the market.
Na década de 90, diamantes eram contrabandeados de países assolados por violentas guerras civis. E quando os diamantes passaram a ser conectados à morte e destruição, toda a indústria ficou sob suspeita.
Until about 1999, De Beers and the diamond industry were in a state of denial on all of this.
– 60% dos diamantes brutos do mundo vêm da África. Botsuana e África do Sul são ricas em chaminés de kimberlito, o que torna a extração em escala industrial lucrativa e fácil de controlar.
If you find one of them, you can just put a fence around it, dig straight down like a root canal job, and haul up the gravel and sort out the diamonds.
A receita gerada por diamantes ajudou a desenvolver a infraestrutura e a economia destes países. Mas em outras nações africanas, os diamantes estão espalhados por milhares de quilômetros quadrados. Durante milênios, a erosão fez com que estas pedras fossem transportadas ao longo dos rios. Garimpados por indivíduos, estes depósitos aluviais trouxeram poucos benefícios para a região.
You don't need big companies, you don't need big equipment, they're easy to get at. And they're easy to get at for rebel armies.
Os depósitos aluviais predominam em Sierra Leone, na República Democrática do Congo e em Angola. Primeiro país a chamar a atenção mundial para a questão dos diamantes de conflito.
It's got everything, offshore oil, it's got diamonds, it has all kinds of resources, and it's just a sad, dismal tale of human greed and of the most revolting conditions of exploitation.
Por mais de 2 décadas, Angola foi assolada por uma violenta guerra civil. Tudo começou em 1975, quando Portugal concedeu independência à colônia de Angola. Os soviéticos apoiaram o movimento popular de libertação de Angola, controlado pelo governo da capital em Luanda. A UNITA, União Nacional para a Independência Total de Angola, era um exército rebelde rival liderado por Jonas Savimbi e apoiado pelos Estados Unidos. Com o fim da Guerra Fria, as superpotências pararam de apoiar ambos os grupos, deixando-os sem armas e dinheiro. Mas Angola tinha recursos naturais para serem explorados. O governo controlou a produção de petróleo e a UNITA voltou-se para os diamantes.
At the beginning of the 90s, they needed money for arms, and so they strategically decided to take over the diamond mines in northern Angola.
Em 1992, os rebeldes dominavam cerca de 70% das minas de Angola.
The war was funded in one part by the sale of diamonds extracted by people often in conditions of enslavement.
Os diamantes alimentavam a máquina de guerra da UNITA. Violentas batalhas eram travadas entre as forças rebeldes e o governo. Civis eram frequentemente feridos no fogo cruzado.
Close to 1 million people lost their lives in the conflict in Angola unnecessarily.
A guerra incentivou uma investigação pela Global Witness, uma pequena ONG com sede em Londres, voltada para as relações entre exploração ambiental e abusos dos direitos humanos.
Angolan diamonds are some of the best diamonds in the world. 80% of Angola's diamonds are gem quality. These are the diamonds that everybody wants. And that was one of the main problems for Angola and one of the blessings for UNITA.
Para a UNITA, não era difícil vender as pedras ilegais.
UNITA had a very sophisticated sales system in place. Diamond dealers from all over the diamond dealing world would come to UNITA. They would even form joint mining partnerships. Those diamonds went straight into the market in Antwerp, and they got an enormous amount of money for them. $3.7 billion worth of diamonds from Angola went through UNITA's hands during the 1990s.
Nem todas as transações envolviam dinheiro. Traficantes de armas ofereciam armamento ultrapassado da Bulgária e de outros países do leste europeu.
Arms dealers would fly in and would directly negotiate arms for diamonds. They would bring their diamond evaluator with them, and there would be no cash. This was simply a diamond for arms transaction.
Somebody would fly a tank down to Angola in a Russian IL-76 and land it on a little bush strip that couldn't be picked up by satellite at night. Down goes the back, up into the light goes a guy with a sack of diamonds representing Jonas Savimbi. Some little guy sits down with a table, paws through the sample, decides what they're worth, off goes the tank.
It's the AK-47 that was prevalent in Angola in many of the conflicts in Africa, but also sophisticated weaponry systems. But at one stage, UNITA even had MiG planes, and all these were, funded partially by diamonds.
Em 1994, apesar do acordo da ONU que prometia um governo único nacional, as hostilidades continuaram. Então, em 1998, o Conselho de Segurança da ONU impôs medidas para banir a venda de diamantes angolanos não certificados pelo governo.
It was a total failure. There was no attempt to implement it. Even the Angolan government, who was at war with UNITA, accepted diamonds from UNITA areas and exported them as their own.
No final de 1998, a Global Witness expôs as descobertas da investigação sobre os diamantes de conflito em um relatório intitulado A Rough Trade.
The reaction that Global Witness received from the publication of our report in 98 was explosive. Nobody understood what was really happening, the impact of these diamonds being sold so openly, so easily, in exchange for millions of dollars. Really, for us, it was horrific that consumers were basically funding the war in Angola, and we felt that was unacceptable.
O relatório trazia sérias denúncias à indústria de diamantes, especialmente à gigante do mercado, De Beers.
De Beers was very prominent in buying Angolan diamonds, and also diamonds that came from UNITA.
A Global Witness citou os relatórios anuais da De Beers como prova.
From 1992 to 1997, in every annual report, they talked about their outside buying power, how strong they were on the market to buy up these diamonds that were flooding onto the market that would have threatened the price stability of the diamond trade.
A De Beers nega ter comprado diamantes angolanos.
Well, first of all, De Beers, to make it absolutely clear, has never bought conflict diamonds. During the 90s, we were working in partnership with the official government in Luanda, purchasing diamonds, exporting, paying revenues, etc.
Eles definem diamantes de conflito como aqueles comprados após 1998.
So up until the point of sanctions being imposed, there was by definition no conflict diamonds in that country.
The diamond industry likes to think that conflict diamonds only started in 1999, when in fact it was going on way before that.
Prior to the imposition of sanctions, everybody in the world was still very hopeful that the UNITA rebels would engage in a lasting, sustainable peace. Unfortunately, in retrospect, we can see that hope was in vain. And when it was recognized that the rebels in Angola were no longer going to participate in any significant way in building peace in that country, the United Nations imposed sanctions, and De Beers immediately, swiftly and effectively started working with the United Nations to ensure that those sanctions were fully implemented.
Em outubro de 1999, a De Beers anunciou o fechamento de seu escritório em Angola. Para as vítimas da guerra, a definição de um diamante de conflito tem pouca importância.
The human cost for conflict diamonds in Angola in particular is very plain to see. You only have to look at the amputees walking in Luanda. Angola was one of the most heavily landmined countries in the world, and still is, and people are still losing their lives as a result.
A revelação de que o contrabando de diamantes financiava a guerra em Angola não ajudou a pôr um fim à carnificina. E quando outra nação africana foi tomada pelo caos, mais uma vez os diamantes seriam responsáveis por uma tragédia de proporções históricas.
They would go into towns, they would drag people out of their houses, they would butcher them.
No leste e sul de Serra Leoa, existem centenas de quilômetros quadrados de solo rico em diamantes brutos.
The real underlying problem where conflict diamonds were concerned is the uncontrolled nature of diamond digging in countries where you have alluvial diamonds.
Explorados por oportunistas, governantes corruptos e exércitos rebeldes, os diamantes tiveram grande importância no passado de Serra Leoa e quase destruíram esta orgulhosa nação, fundada nos princípios da liberdade. Em 1462, um explorador português se deparou com uma deslumbrante paisagem na costa oeste africana, cercada por montanhas íngremes.
He felt they looked like a crouching lion, and so he gave the name Sierra Leone. Over the years, that name has been changed to what we know it today as Sierra Leone.
Serra Leoa teve um papel importante no lucrativo comércio de escravos do século XVIII. Foi daqui que partiram os escravos da famosa rebelião do navio Amistad. A região também chamou a atenção de abolicionistas ingleses que trouxeram para Serra Leoa escravos emancipados dos Estados Unidos, Grã-Bretanha e Canadá. Os escravos se assentaram na província litorânea de Freedom, mais tarde rebatizada de Freetown, a capital de Serra Leoa.
A lot of ex-slaves were brought here, and these mixed with the local population, and it was quite a vibrant place. Over time, there was a lot of intermingling among these settlers, which gave rise to a totally new culture in West Africa known as the Creole culture.
Como colônia britânica, Freetown tornou-se um centro de educação e ideias progressivas. O resto do país permaneceu não desenvolvido até 1930, quando os diamantes foram descobertos.
And since then, diamonds have continued to play a very big role in our economy.
Apenas a Companhia Selection Trust de Serra Leoa, conhecida como SLST, recebeu direitos exclusivos de mineração. Em pouco tempo surgiu uma rede ilícita de garimpeiros e contrabandistas. As pedras brutas eram levadas secretamente para Libéria e Guiné.
Monrovia, Liberia became a bit of a boomtown as diamond purchasers from European houses realized the wealth of cheap diamonds that were available in Monrovia.
No início dos anos 50, novas jazidas de diamantes foram descobertas.
In 1955, there was this great diamond rush where everybody went to the diamond mines in search of quick wealth. So the monopoly that SLST had was threatened.
When I lived there in the 60s, the Sierra Leone Selection Trust had an army, 500 men. They had 2 helicopters and they had trucks, and their whole business was to round up illicit diggers.
Apesar do tráfico descontrolado, Serra Leoa exportava oficialmente 2 milhões de quilates de diamantes por ano. Era uma fonte de recursos essencial para o país após a conquista da independência.
When Sierra Leone got independence in 1961, the prospects looked pretty good. It had a fairly good infrastructure. There was a railroad, there was a network of highways, there were schools, there was a university. But many of the institutions were very, very fragile.
O declínio de Serra Leoa começou em 1967, quando Giaca Stevens tornou-se primeiro-ministro.
He, over time, embarked on a highly centralized one-party form of government, which adversely affected the living standards of the people. Important institutions in this country, like the military, the police, were all corrupted and politicized.
O governo reivindicou 51% das ações da Selection Trust de Serra Leoa.
Gradually, the diamond industry was nationalized. The government brought in all kinds of shady characters. They brought in American mafia. There were just an incredible range of very, very bad people involved in the diamond business. Official diamond exports went from, $200-300 million a year down to almost nothing.
Nas décadas seguintes, os recursos destinados ao desenvolvimento do país desapareceram. Educação, saúde e infraestrutura entraram em colapso. Havia censura à imprensa e às manifestações sociais.
Pretty soon you had state in free fall. A lot of young students, university students, who were radicalized during this time and by this experience, and they formed a kind of an opposition that fed into the early days of the rebel movement that started up in the early 90s.
Dos líderes rebeldes era o ex-cabo do exército Foray Sankoh.
Foray Sankoh, I know him very well. It's like a chameleon. Chameleon in the sense, a chameleon can take any color. The way he sees you is the way he appears to you. At times he looks nice, simple, loving, but Foray Sankoh is very difficult to accept, and Foray Sankoh cannot keep to his words. Today he is black, tomorrow he is white.
Sankoh encontrou aliado no violento líder rebelde da Libéria.
We will fight street to street, house to house, and we'll defeat them.
Charles Taylor from Liberia had a big plan to create Greater Liberia, and that really involved attacking Sierra Leone, but also he had a strategic need to take over the diamond fields in Sierra Leone to pay for his own war and to pay for the war in Sierra Leone.
No, master! No slave! No slave! No nothing. You have to do it for yourself.
Juntos, Taylor e Sankoh criaram o embrião do Exército Rebelde de Serra Leoa, conhecido como RUF, a Frente Revolucionária Unida.
Chancellor promised them that after his own war, he's going to help them to create a revolution in Sierra Leone.
Em 1989, Taylor e seus seguidores iniciaram a Guerra Civil na Libéria. Sankoh se estabeleceu na região oeste do país, próximo à fronteira com Serra Leoa. De lá, Sankoh começou a recrutar e treinar um exército. A maioria dos soldados não tinha educação e era facilmente doutrinável.
There was a lot of poverty, but there were a lot of disaffected young men who were very easily picked up by Foray Sankoh. It wasn't too hard to get this thing rolling.
Em março de 1991, a Frente Revolucionária invadiu Serra Leoa.
Many people believe that the RUF actually had a genuine cause, a grievance against the government. The so-called legitimate government of Sierra Leone squandered the diamond revenues. They stole the money that should have gone for development. No money was going back to build schools or hospitals. The infrastructure in Sierra Leone was atrocious.
Ano após a invasão da Frente Revolucionária, uma junta militar realizou um golpe de Estado. Seria dos 3 governos a combater a milícia rebelde ao longo da guerra. Mas para Sankoh pouco importava quem estava no palácio presidencial.
He was a power-thirsty man who wanted to govern his country, Sierra Leone, at all costs.
A RUF dominou facilmente as regiões diamantíferas do leste. Os soldados de Sankoh brutalizavam qualquer que tentasse impedi-los.
So I've been there as I pick this guava. Now I see them, they can wear some tie red, some wear gold, some tie themselves. So as I want go about them, then say waiting me the afraid, waiting from there 9 days, and the same place they 9 days, all 9 days for don't pay me.
Os soldados rebeldes tinham apelidos como Mestre Sanguinário, Cruel com as Mulheres e Matador.
They don't go surround the village and don't capture some of we about 55, get away in one place, pass the command, call one word and see nine the killer, so they see them for pool, sacrifice when one limba mami. We then go take and kite and then see them for slaughter.
A ilusão de que os rebeldes fossem heróis libertadores durou pouco. Cidadãos aterrorizados abandonaram vilarejos e cidades. Em novembro de 1993, mais de 3.700 pessoas haviam fugido. A Frente Revolucionária atingira de seus objetivos: expulsar a população das zonas diamantíferas de Serra Leoa.
The RUF wanted to take Kono or the diamond areas because of the resources.
Nos anos seguintes, os diamantes financiaram uma campanha de terror inédita na história. As minas de diamantes foram transformadas em campos de trabalho forçado.
Many of the people working in the diamond fields were working at gunpoint.
Antes da guerra, Usman Conté era um típico adolescente de Serra Leoa. Mas aos 17 anos, Usman foi sequestrado por rebeldes durante um ataque ao vilarejo de Maburaka. Milhares de civis capturados foram levados para os garimpos, que se transformaram em campos de trabalho forçado da RUF.
All night, day and night. We blue, they say you don't tire. They knock you down. They kill you. Who's out on the work, now they on the seat. Now they on the toilet. So, I did bad and that balance there.
Physical exhaustion was very commonplace. In fact, it was a tactic of the RUF to wear out the miners so that they wouldn't be inclined to run away or flee.
The food outside, better food no day, where they give you, they not sleep. So no way no day, now they no will be. You know we say they left they go for a job. If you left them back, you say go for a job, then when you see the only then they kill you.
Os rebeldes vigiavam os prisioneiros para desencorajar roubos.
Because if they suspect you having a diamond, pray to God at that time that when they say, where is the diamond, you say, here is it. If not, you lose your life.
So that time they will be one man if you don't take diamond, or take enough proof for you the diamond. I heard them hold on. Interview the actor. The man say not take diamond. So when the interview, where the man not get the diamond, now they don't fire and they kill her. And say, we not get the diamond, they will get the next one before. You don't know.
Extraídos por garimpeiros escravizados como Usman, os diamantes eram levados para fora do país por rotas de contrabando estabelecidas décadas antes.
They would be taken by trusted couriers and would go by land, by foot, across the border and go to Monrovia.
Envolvido com a guerra civil na Libéria, o líder guerrilheiro Charles Taylor ajudou a facilitar o contrabando de diamantes de sangue.
He supported the Revolutionary United Front in Sierra Leone. He supported them because it was a way of destabilizing strong elements in the region, and it was also a way of paying for his war.
Os diamantes da Frente Revolucionária financiavam duas máquinas de guerra, uma na Libéria e outra em Serra Leoa.
In return for the diamonds, we need arms and ammunitions. Arms like AK-47 rifles, GPMG, that is general purpose machine guns, RPGs.
FN long-barreled rifles, surface-to-air missiles, helicopters, helicopter parts. Ammunition was often delivered in million block orders.
O controle da produção de diamantes em Serra Leoa servia a uma outra estratégia rebelde.
When we get these rich areas, that is the resources area, then the government will collapse economically. It will not be able to finance its military.
O exército recebia uma pequena parte da diminuta renda do Estado. Muitos soldados descontentes se voltaram contra o próprio governo.
The soldiers were not really able to effectively prosecute the war, and a lot of them became sobels, that is, soldier come rebels, and so that's complicated the whole situation in the war front.
The soldiers were joining forces with the rebels, and were attacking towns, were raping women, were killing people.
A população estava desamparada. Em 1992, os guerreiros da tribo Mende, conhecidos como Camajors, decidiram se armar contra os rebeldes.
That was the reason why we had civil militia, because people were complaining that their houses, their villages were being razed by military men, not even rebels.
Com o país dominado pela anarquia, as crianças se tornaram o símbolo da tragédia do conflito. Muitas foram mortas. Outras participavam da matança.
I think the number of child soldiers from our estimate was something like 20,000, which was quite high. The age range was something like 7 years to 12 years, which is quite young. And most of these child soldiers were very, very aggressive.
Para instigar o comportamento violento, os rebeldes encorajavam o consumo de álcool e drogas entre as crianças soldado. Os meninos formavam a maioria das crianças recrutadas à força. Mas as meninas também eram visadas e serviam como cozinheiras, escravas sexuais e combatentes.
Then go with me, then go misuse me. Then give me gun, but I don't know how to use the gun. I'm just all I no more.
Lovett Freeman tinha 14 anos quando foi raptada pelos rebeldes.
Anything they say do so, I do so, because if they say I do so, I say I do so. Then they point in F before me, say they will kill me. Me I do bad. We go self now one house for go clear and I me day before. Because when me na woman, they all wait na do and knock. The mommy can't do, he can't open the door as he opens, so now points the gun before him. What point the gun before and the mommy stagger go behind. Now we all enter. When we enter, I meet the mommy small pikin. I myself take the pikin, I pull on a door. Me all the pikin will go to the pikin. And me can't die now with Anne. So now I'm so feel for the pikin.
As crianças eram forçadas a aterrorizar as próprias famílias.
They would abduct young boys and girls, force them to kill their own people. And after that they would say, we are your own parents now. And then they would use these little boys as front soldiers to attack other areas.
There were platoons worth of child soldiers who knew really no parent figures except for those who were their commanders in their units.
No final de 1994, grande parte de Sierra Leone estava mergulhada no caos. Incapaz de controlar a frente revolucionária, o governo de Sierra Leone contratou a companhia mercenária sul-africana Executive Outcomes para restabelecer a ordem. Em troca, os soldados mercenários receberiam diamantes.
Executive Outcomes had an effective air power, which they used to their advantage in the diamond area. They had one big aim to clear those areas of rebels because their whole pay depended on that.
Em pouco tempo, a Executive Outcomes realizou o que ninguém em Sierra Leone conseguira. Em apenas um mês, eles expulsaram os rebeldes das áreas diamantíferas no leste do país. Uma paz tênue foi estabelecida, permitindo a realização das eleições de 1996. A RUF se recusou a participar. O ex-oficial das Nações Unidas, Ahmad Tejan Kaba, foi eleito presidente.
Ahmad Tejan Kaba campaigned in a very simple way. They would help end the war and return this country to normalcy.
Enough is enough. We should really try and stop the decline of our country.
O novo presidente iniciou as negociações com os rebeldes. Mas as esperanças de paz desapareceram rapidamente. Pressionado pela ONU, Kaba terminou o contrato com a Executive Outcomes. Sem uma força militar que controlasse os rebeldes, a guerra foi retomada.
The RUF said that it was fighting against military rule and they were for democracy and they wanted peace and development. But when the military government left power and there was an elected government, they kept on fighting.
E para punir os eleitores, a Frente Revolucionária Unida se vingaria com uma violência nunca vista. Em 1996, a guerra em Sierra Leone entrava no 6º ano. A venda de diamantes ajudava a prolongar o conflito, que de outra forma teria terminado rapidamente.
The amount of money that the RUF made from the diamonds in Sierra Leone is between $50 to $125 million per annum during the time period that they had control over the diamond fields.
Com o exército rebelde fortemente armado, os anos restantes da Guerra Civil foram marcados por uma brutalidade que desafiava a compreensão. Em resposta à eleição do presidente Kabah em 1996, os rebeldes passaram a mutilar civis como tática de intimidação e vingança.
President bastard ki ati yanka by supporter them. Today when I hand come up and politics, them mami cosre enter. But who they side the move say, what they want all they don't pull them at the pala. Now they say put in mami ass. Now I say do ya, I should have left me for God. I say right now, I get me pickle, the man not the power. Now I'm at the head of the family. I say I no can cut me and I left me for God. Now they say who's God in business. Let me face me hand church God if you are church God.
She pleaded.
Residents were often asked, would you like to have short sleeves or long sleeves, which was code for do you want your hand chopped off at the wrist or at the elbow?
Em 1997, Kumba Mbindi fugiu com o marido e o filho quando os rebeldes atacaram sua cidade natal, próxima a Kono.
So now move the Ogotomburu. So Ogotomburu now. And then after we now, we're gonna boost. That time we get 4 months belly.
A família foi capturada pelos rebeldes. O marido de Kumba foi arrastado para dentro da floresta. 3 rebeldes interpelaram Kumba.
Before I remember, I don't know put the clothes all for me now. He shipped me a fodon. But that be foot now. So what fodon now? I say, they don't with me. I say, now the big guy. He say, well, he not doing na belly at the pass, so he not doing me belly. He not going to live with me. You can't be saying now that farm also now. That farm also now. It go cost you. I can so much. I will make my province.
Então o marido de Kumba surgiu da floresta.
He brought the can spray now. I said, now where the can so? They say, na me. He said, don't cut me on. So can't reach now. Say, can't reach now. Cut me man. They come up and see we. I said, don't want me. They don't cut me money on. Me say, they don't do me that. They ask, I said, what do you make them cut me on? He said, they say, now we've been the vote for Tijakaba. He said, they say, now we've been the vote for Tijakaba. So no more vote for again.
Move your hand from the wall. Take off your hands out of the wall. That was the meaning of that chopping of hands.
Durante a primeira metade da guerra, a capital de Freetown foi poupada das atrocidades da Frente Revolucionária. Mas em maio de 1997, o presidente Kabah foi deposto por um golpe do exército. A nova junta militar convidou os rebeldes a se unirem a eles em Freetown como aliados. Imediatamente, a Frente Revolucionária saqueou a cidade em uma ação batizada por eles de Operação Vingança.
These guys devised some new but wicked strategies, and one of them was Operation Pay Yourself, where they will harass civilians, take whatever property they had, and use that property for their own ends.
They go host to host, we take all them property them, go take the money them. After that, we take them property them. If not for kill, if not 2 or 3 people, or kill them and the family them.
It was a war of stealing, grabbing, and taking illegally what you never worked for.
Após 3 décadas de sofrimento e domínio militar, os cidadãos de Freetown tomaram as ruas em protesto.
The general public refused to give them the support. People refused to send their kids to school. People refused to go to work.
The demonstrators, they said they don't want the junta and that the government should come back. This means we were to go back to the bush. And we're going back into the bush.
O único exército capaz de combater os rebeldes em Freetown era o ECOMOG, uma força de intervenção africana liderada pela Nigéria, acionada em 1997. Eles expulsaram a junta militar, restabeleceram o governo de Kabah e expulsaram os rebeldes de Freetown.
They now painfully realize that it was really not possible for them to stay in Freetown permanently and rule. And since that was not going to be possible, all Sierra Leoneans would suffer as a consequence. While they were retreating, they made sure they destroyed everything that was on its way, human beings, buildings, clearing like locusts, anything that was on their way.
People were so frightened. People were panicked. There were people who were being killed. There were reports of villages set ablaze, towns wiped by the rebels, children abducted.
A Frente Revolucionária se retirou para o leste e no final de 1998 voltou a dominar os garimpos de diamante. Os rebeldes se armaram e retornaram a Freetown em janeiro de 1999. Mas desta vez eles atacaram com uma violência sem precedentes.
That was the most brutal experience that I witnessed. People were being forced into their houses. This was the time I had to go into hiding. You hear people being shot at. You hear people crying. Rebels attacking them. Women being brutalized. They were being raped in front of their children, in front of their husbands, in front of their family members.
As forças da ECOMOG que ainda estavam em Freetown defenderam a cidade ferozmente. Incapazes de distinguir rebeldes de civis, os soldados da ECOMOG brutalizavam cidadãos indiscriminadamente.
Freetown was hell, to put it very crudely. There was complete anarchy and instability in this country.
O massacre durou 2 semanas, até que o ECOMOG expulsasse os rebeldes de Freetown novamente. Mas neste período 6.000 pessoas foram mortas. Os corpos se empilhavam na frente do hospital CONAF.
The body I don't see, I don't get for serious kind, but I don't see the place to go. I don't see the safe. I the born people there, then the chair people there.
A cidade que já fora um lugar vibrante estava em ruínas. A guerra em Sierra Leone estava prestes a terminar, e uma polêmica conexão ligando o massacre ao comércio de diamantes estava prestes a ser revelada. Em 1999, os violentos ataques rebeldes a Freetown fizeram com que a comunidade internacional, ausente até então, forçasse uma ação diplomática. Os Estados Unidos e a ONU intermediaram um encontro em Lomé, no Togo, em julho de 1999, e um acordo de paz foi assinado.
It called for complete cessation of hostilities from all parties. It also granted amnesty to all the fighting forces, including the RUF. It also called for some power sharing.
The Lomé Peace Accord, probably one of the worst things that have been done in Africa in many years.
O principal beneficiário do acordo de Lomé foi o líder rebelde aprisionado Forey Sanko. O mentor dos crimes da Frente Revolucionária recebeu a vice-presidência do país.
People said there will never be a military solution to this. There has to be a political solution. The political solution was to give the vice presidency of the country to a butcher.
Como vice-presidente, Sanko recebeu o comando oficial das jazidas de diamantes de Sierra Leone, o objetivo que ele buscara através da guerra. Sanko também conspirou para derrubar o governo.
When you're dealing with a group as anarchic and as murderous as the RUF, it was very unlikely that they were ever going to settle for half the cake. They wanted full power.
They still wanted the topmost position. Fode Sanko still wanted to become president of this country.
Uma missão de paz de 6.000 soldados foi enviada pela ONU em outubro de 1999 para combater os rebeldes. Mas durante um ano as tropas de paz evitaram as jazidas de diamantes no leste do país, ainda controladas pela RUF. Do outro lado do mundo, uma ONG canadense chamada Parceria África-Canadá trabalhava na reconstrução de prédios em Serra Leoa.
And one of the Sierra Leoneans in the group said, this thing is really about diamonds. Until somebody does something about diamonds, this thing will never be over. We began to research the subject, and sure enough, diamonds really were the heart of the matter.
Em janeiro de 2000, a Parceria África-Canadá publicou um relatório revelando como os diamantes financiaram a Frente Revolucionária e inúmeras violações dos direitos humanos. Um dos envolvidos era Charles Taylor, eleito presidente da Libéria em 1997.
We found very clear evidence that a lot of diamonds were being moved from Sierra Leone through Monrovia, through the offices of Charles Taylor and his cronies, out into the bigger diamond world.
O relatório acusava a De Beers de fazer parte do problema dos diamantes de sangue. A companhia havia fechado o escritório de Serra Leoa em 1985. Mas o relatório concluiu que a antiga prática da De Beers de monopolizar a compra de pedras brutas do mercado indicava que a companhia teria comprado indiretamente diamantes de conflito de Serra Leoa.
If you can't buy them in the country where they're mined, then you buy them somewhere else. In the end, they're all going to go into the same pot. So certainly they were buying diamonds that had been smuggled from a whole variety of places.
De Beers itself did not buy any Sierra Leone diamonds from 1985 onwards, but clearly there were problems in terms of those diamonds from that country getting into certain channels, being smuggled and getting onto the international markets.
A Libéria era a primeira parada para a maioria dos diamantes contrabandeados de Serra Leoa. Também era o local preferido por contrabandistas para vender pedras ilegais de outros países africanos.
In a 2-year period, over $2 billion worth of diamonds had come into Antwerp, supposedly from Liberia.
Yet none of these diamonds came from Liberia. Liberia itself has very few diamonds. This is a country that can't produce $10 million worth of diamonds a year.
These were recorded as official figures coming into Belgium, in official Belgian trade figures. But all of these figures were being recorded without anybody batting an eye. Nobody was asking any questions. There was no regulation. There was no control of any kind.
Os diamantes ilegais entravam na Antuérpia acompanhados de documentos fraudulentos impressos em papéis timbrados de companhias fictícias.
You would arrive at Belgian customs and you'd have an invoice saying that you bought these diamonds in Liberia. You could have bought them anywhere.
O relatório mostrou que as notas também eram falsificadas ao listarem o local de onde os diamantes eram exportados como país de origem.
Many diamonds went through Swiss free ports, and so these were declared as Swiss diamonds. Switzerland, of course, doesn't have any diamonds.
A publicidade negativa em torno dos diamantes de conflito chamou a atenção da indústria para o caso. A De Beers foi a primeira a agir.
De Beers began to recognize that this was a real issue, and as the industry leader, they would have to make some changes in the way they do business.
They realized that they actually had to do something for whatever reasons, whether it was altruistic or whether it was to protect the good name of diamonds. They did become involved.
Em 2000, a De Beers parou de comprar diamantes no mercado aberto.
De Beers was probably more aware of the conflict diamond issue than others, and basically said they would only buy diamonds from mines that they controlled or had a share in, so they knew exactly where the diamonds came from.
And when we look at the absolute tragedy that was going on in Sierra Leone, this shocked the world and it shocked the diamond industry. And we very quickly wanted to become part of the solution in putting an end to this. Diamonds should have nothing to do with these kind of activities. Of that we were adamant.
Para uma indústria que pouco mudara durante mais de um século, aquilo foi uma revolução.
The awareness of conflict diamonds, probably the biggest change to the diamond industry, almost from the beginning.
Enquanto a parceria África-Canadá revelava a conexão entre o contrabando de diamantes e o conflito de Serra Leoa, a paz começou a se estabelecer no país.
For the first few months, there was some relative peace. Soon, the rebels began attacking important areas. They began attacking people.
Mas desta vez a frente revolucionária seria aniquilada. Em maio de 2000, uma pequena força de intervenção britânica fortemente armada desembarcou em Serra Leoa. Os britânicos se uniram às tropas da ONU, somando mais de 17 mil soldados. Juntos, os exércitos eliminaram as fortificações rebeldes remanescentes. A frente revolucionária se enfraqueceu e seu líder, Forey Sankoh, foi preso. Em 18 de janeiro de 2002, o presidente Ahmad Tejan Kaba declarou oficialmente o fim de uma das mais brutas guerras civis do século XX.
Today, we are happy that those flames of war have been extinguished and that now we are about to watch the flames of peace destroy some of the implements of war.
4 meses depois, os cidadãos de Serra Leoa puderam votar livremente. O presidente Kaba foi facilmente reeleito. Centenas de cidadãos, cujas mãos foram amputadas para que nunca mais votassem, compareceram às urnas corajosamente. As atrocidades cometidas em Serra Leoa e Angola, financiadas pelo contrabando de diamantes, foram reveladas ao mundo. Mas uma nova e espantosa acusação estava prestes a ser revelada.
The connection between Al-Qaeda and diamonds first came to my attention shortly after the 9/11 attacks.
Na manhã de 2 de novembro de 2001, os leitores do Washington Post se depararam com uma manchete que conectava o contrabando de diamantes e a mais famosa organização terrorista do mundo.
There's strong evidence that there were Al-Qaeda operatives in Liberia and that they went to Sierra Leone in the late 1990s and that they were buying diamonds.
A descoberta foi feita ao acaso por Doug Farah, então chefe da sede do Washington Post na África Ocidental. Farah estava em Gana para um encontro com uma fonte confidencial, um membro do grupo de Charles Taylor.
He was looking at a Newsweek magazine that had come out just after the 9/11 attacks, and they had a list of the FBI most wanted on a 2-page spread, and he suddenly went pale, and he said, I know these two guys, and this guy down here. And I said, what do you mean you know them? He said, I was sold diamonds to them earlier this year. I was with these people in the bush. I was like, holy cow.
Os homens identificados pela fonte de Farah eram membros importantes da Al-Qaeda.
Two of the gentlemen, Gailani and Fazul Mohammed, were identified as being involved in the East African embassy bombings. And Abdullah Ahmed Abdullah was a fairly senior financial officer within Al-Qaeda.
A fonte de Farah descreveu inúmeros encontros entre a Al-Qaeda e a Frente Revolucionária.
They had had a meeting in June and July of 2001 in Monrovia to negotiate a monopoly agreement to buy the entire diamond harvest of the RUF that year. And one of the incentives they gave was to pay 10 or 15% above the going rate for uncut stones.
Farah levou a investigação até Serra Leoa, onde antigos comandantes da Frente Revolucionária confirmaram a história. Seu polêmico artigo estimulou outras investigações pela Corte Especial de Serra Leoa, uma força-tarefa que incluiu agências de inteligência europeias e a ONG Global Witness. As investigações confirmaram a revelação de Farah.
The link between Al-Qaeda and diamonds really starts in East Africa, in Kenya and Tanzania.
Em 1998, como consequência dos ataques às embaixadas americanas no Quênia e na Tanzânia, os Estados Unidos congelaram os bens dos 3 suspeitos.
Intelligence sources believe that Osama bin Laden needed to come up with a different financial structure for the next attack. And nothing fits the bill better than diamonds. They're portable, they're easily liquidated, and nobody can tell where they came from once they've left the source of origin.
Elements of the East African Al-Qaeda cell moved to Liberia, to West Africa, and became involved in buying up millions of dollars worth of diamonds.
They brought in a couple of people in '98, and then they had 2 permanent people there starting in December of 2000. And they rented a house starting in February of 2001.
Publicado poucos meses após os atentados de 11 de setembro, o artigo de Farrah causou reações diversas em Washington.
The CIA and the FBI refused to believe it.
Members of Congress kept demanding that the FBI and CIA investigate the stories.
O FBI foi enviado 2 vezes à África para investigar a conexão entre diamantes e terroristas.
Which created a huge level of hostility within those agencies, being told by Congress to go spend resources on something they didn't think was important.
O FBI e a CIA enviaram relatórios sobre as investigações da suposta conexão entre terroristas e diamantes à comissão dos atentados de 11 de setembro. O relatório oficial contradizia a história do Washington Post, declarando: não há provas de que a Al-Qaeda tenha se financiado pela venda de diamantes de conflito da África. Na virada do século, poucos negavam o fato de que os diamantes haviam financiado guerras brutais e atrocidades contra os direitos humanos em Angola e Sierra Leone.
The diamond industry was very concerned that the 2 NGOs that had exposed the problem, Global Witness and Partnership Africa Canada, might start a consumer boycott. This would be very damaging for countries like Botswana, Namibia, South Africa, where they're very dependent on diamonds and where there are no conflict diamonds. So the industry was concerned, and those governments were also concerned.
A indústria de diamantes uniu-se a ONGs e países produtores de diamantes em busca de soluções. Após anos de debate, foi criado um sistema de certificação colocado em prática em 2003. O processo Kimberley.
The Kimberley Process Certification Scheme, which is its technical name, is a UN-sponsored trade agreement which requires any time rough diamonds cross international border that they be packaged in a tamper-resistant container and that they be accompanied by a government-validated Kimberley Process Certificate which lists the volume, the weight, the value of the rough diamonds.
Mais de 70 países são membros do processo Kimberley.
I'm happy to report that the initial source of conflict diamonds, which were Angola and Sierra Leone, are both members of the Kimberley process.
Na Secretaria de Ouro e Diamante de Sierra Leone, cada lote de diamante bruto exportado legalmente passa por um rigoroso processo de seleção, avaliação e certificação. Tudo dentro dos padrões Kimberley. Após o carregamento certificado ser exportado, tem início a cadeia de fornecimento que fará com que as pedras brutas sejam entregues a comerciantes, lustradores e revendedores de todo o mundo. Além do processo de Kimberley, a indústria concordou em adotar um sistema voluntário de autorregulação e certificação para garantir a linhagem dos carregamentos de diamantes. Utilizadas em conjunto, estas 2 práticas possibilitariam rastrear os diamantes de seu ponto de origem até as lojas onde são vendidos.
It goes through this complex system, but by the time it gets to a retail store, it is accompanied by a warranty. And the retailer can insist on these warranties so that they are in a position, if they are asked by a consumer, to tell the consumer that all of the diamonds that I sell in my store are covered by a warranty and that, therefore, they have no taint of conflict on them.
Mas será que o sistema funciona? Os diamantes de conflito foram reduzidos a menos de 1% do comércio mundial, devido principalmente ao fim das guerras civis em Angola e Sierra Leone. E desde a implementação do processo Kimberley, a exportação legal de diamantes em antigas zonas de conflito tem aumentado.
I think one of the indications of success in the Kimberley process is what's happened in Sierra Leone. In 2002, I think Sierra Leone exported about $26 million worth of diamonds legally. In 2005, it exported $142 million legally.
Mas os críticos afirmam que o sistema não é a prova de falhas. Os países participantes do processo devem estabelecer um rigoroso controle interno para impedir a entrada de diamantes ilegais no sistema. Uma tarefa difícil em áreas com predominância de mineração aluvial, como as antigas zonas de conflito.
In a country like Sierra Leone, where you've got something like 180,000 artisanal diamond diggers, people who dig with a shovel and a sieve, many of them not licensed, very, very hard to know where the diamonds are coming from that are offered for export. Very hard to track all those diamonds right back to the mine.
So unless an inspector is physically there to see that each individual diamond is pulled from a particular mine, there is no way that any regimen of certificates and checks or double checks is going to account for every single one of them.
Diamonds could be coming into Sierra Leone from Liberia. Diamonds could be going out of Sierra Leone into Guinea.
Outra preocupação das ONGs é que o sistema de certificação projetado para rastrear os diamantes até o varejo não permite a ação de auditores.
This industry chain of warranties, this industry self-regulation is voluntary, and there is no provision for audits. In our view, this is a weak link in the chain.
Em 2004, uma investigação da Global Witness revelou que muitos revendedores americanos eram incapazes de fornecer uma certificação de origem dos diamantes quando requisitados.
Is there like a warranty or something to say we don't trade in conflict blood thing? No, there's no.
We're always trying to improve the Kimberley process. We've all had some ideas on how to improve it. The NGOs, the governments, the industry. We're working those through.
Resta saber se o processo Kimberley funcionará efetivamente em períodos de guerra.
I remain convinced that no system of certificates and stamps of approval or digital pictures are going to eradicate this problem, as long as there are armed groups who are acting in rebellion to a legitimate government of a country where diamonds are found. And as long as they can control diamonds, as long as they can extract the diamonds, those diamonds will get sold.
Em 2006, a ONU revelou que diamantes da Costa do Marfim estavam sendo extraídos e contrabandeados para fora do país por rebeldes. Pedras ilícitas da Libéria e da República Democrática do Congo ainda conseguem entrar no mercado internacional. Os principais conflitos africanos patrocinados por diamantes chegaram a um fim. Mas em regiões voláteis como a África Central e Ocidental, há o risco de que uma guerra financiada por diamantes possa ocorrer novamente.
If you want to overthrow a government and you've got access to millions of dollars worth of diamonds, it's going to be easy to do.
Após a guerra, Serra Leoa vivencia uma paz tênue. Graças à anistia concedida aos combatentes da Frente Revolucionária, as vítimas da guerra e os rebeldes que as aterrorizaram convivem lado a lado.
And most of us consider the Civil War as a long nightmare, and people are prepared to forgive, not necessarily to forget, and to forge ahead in the hope that they will never experience this kind of atrocities again.
A Comissão de Verdade e Reconciliação de Serra Leoa encoraja vítimas e ex-combatentes a conviverem em paz. Aos criminosos, pede-se que sintam remorso.
Some people have died. Some got lost. So all these people who, in one way or the other, fell victim of the war, we have to say sorry to them, and I extend my sympathy to them.
As vítimas são instruídas a perdoar, mas nem todas conseguem.
So I don't feel fine. I just been all with the ask God. If you be able to keep power outside the middle of the man will pass in command. We're not going to shoot so discourse. Yes.
Uma reclamação comum se refere à ajuda financeira oferecida pelo governo aos criminosos. Para incentivar o desarmamento, o governo distribuiu dinheiro para ex-combatentes da Frente Revolucionária.
The ex-combatants were in a win-win situation. They went into the war, they committed atrocities, they loot property, they got away with that, they got blanket amnesty, and they were trained, given money to go back into their communities, while the victims were in a lose-lose situation.
Because they come for help when they help them will get on. Because now they're afraid, would they continue to suffer?
No acampamento para feridos de guerra de Grafton, a negligência é evidente.
This camp we will now from November the 17th, Friday, year 2000. Presently we have 550 people here. We don't get lights, we don't get toilet facilities, and the educational problems itself, you know, look powerful. Now we need fine school.
Projetadas para funcionarem como abrigos temporários, as tendas desgastadas pelo tempo são o único refúgio das vítimas de guerra. Uma das moradoras do acampamento é Kumba Imbindi. Durante a guerra, Kumba foi sexualmente mutilada por um grupo de rebeldes. Hoje ela convive com o estigma da agressão.
No, right now, me man, we when I'm a man. No, right now, I don't get what a woman. No, right now, me then. Because man say, wait, you say, I want you, we not to go na house. As soon as I sleep, you don't know, say, you know, woman, you don't the condition where they, you know, the country you get. They wouldn't turn now for any motor man now, where they pass it.
Graças à anistia concedida aos homens que a atacaram, Kumba nunca poderá confrontá-los em um tribunal.
Perhaps in an ideal world, every person against whom there is evidence of the commission of crimes would be called to stand trial for those crimes. But the amount of time that would take and the amount of resources that would take would be unsustainable.
Poucos são aqueles que serão julgados. A maioria dos casos será ouvida na Corte Especial de Sierra Leone, em Freetown. O Tribunal de Crimes de Guerra, apoiado pela ONU, deverá processar apenas aqueles acusados de executar as piores atrocidades de guerra.
They involve crimes of an absolutely horrific nature, torture of individuals, killings and mutilations of individuals, amputations, sexual crimes, rapes, burning of houses with people in them alive, burying of people alive, the absolutely horrific category of events that are being charged.
Blood diamonds are the common thread that bound together this criminal enterprise. The rule of the gun reigns supreme.
Em março de 2003, o comandante da Frente Revolucionária, Forey Sanko, foi acusado de 7 crimes contra a humanidade. Mas Sanko nunca foi julgado. Ele morreu na prisão naquele mesmo ano. Mas o tribunal reservou a acusação mais importante ao homem que ajudou a financiar e comandar a guerra à distância.
On behalf of the people of Sierra Leone and the international community, I announce the indictment of Charles Yankee Taylor for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and serious violations of international humanitarian law.
It was hugely significant that the rule of law has, in this case, shown that it can extend beyond borders, that it can extend to any person, even a former head of state.
Após ser preso na Nigéria em março de 2006, Taylor foi levado à Corte Especial de Freetown e então transferido para o Tribunal Internacional de Haia, na Holanda. Charles Taylor ainda aguarda julgamento. A Corte Especial de Sierra Leone emitiu 13 acusações. Os vereditos são aguardados para 2007. Enquanto as cicatrizes de guerra se fecham lentamente, países africanos caracterizados pela mineração informal de diamantes continuam propensos a conflitos.
The conflict diamond issue is still pertinent because it can flare up at any time. Africa is a volatile region. One of the key problems in looking at the whole diamond issue is that really the root causes of the conflicts haven't been addressed. The corruption, the poverty, the lack of resources, the lack of opportunities for people.
Jovens miseráveis trabalham arduamente nas minas. A pobreza está por toda a parte.
One of the very strange things about the diamond producing areas in Africa is that they're often the poorest. You can go to a village that has been mining diamonds for 50, 60 years and they don't even have a water pump. Now, millions of dollars worth of diamonds have come out of that area, and why is it so poor? It's very hard to understand.
A maioria busca a garimpagem por falta de alternativas. Durante a Guerra de Sierra Leone, Usman Conté foi capturado pelos rebeldes e forçado a minerar diamantes. Ironicamente, ele voltou a trabalhar no garimpo. Devido à escassez de recursos e oportunidades, este é o único meio de sustento de Usman. De certa maneira, ele continua escravo dos diamantes.
Well, me, I did I not get it, but still I did for the stream for now. I not get job with this. I go pardon the work. I left my new first. If I get the job with this, I go left the money inside. I go left the money inside. I go for that job there. But I not get that first. I did for the money inside. Say God give me.
Os garimpeiros são pagos de diversas maneiras. Alguns recebem uma pequena parte dos diamantes encontrados. Outros trabalham simplesmente por uma refeição. Alguns ganham um salário miserável. A maioria trabalha sob falsas esperanças.
It's a casino economy. Everybody thinks they're going to find the big one, but of course hardly anybody ever does find the big one. The mining conditions are awful. People dig in the hot sun all day long, often up to their waist in filthy water. There's no social cohesion. There's a lot of violence. These mining areas are great vectors for malaria, for HIV/AIDS, for all kinds of societal problems.
Their daily routine it's really nothing more than bonded slavery.
Na tentativa de ajudar aqueles que são explorados pelo mercado de diamantes, as ONGs Global Witness e Parceria África-Canadá, juntamente com a De Beers, formaram a iniciativa para o desenvolvimento de áreas diamantíferas.
There are 1 million, if not 1.5 million, artisanal alluvial diamond diggers earning $1 a day. What we're suggesting with the Diamond Development Initiative, the DDI, is that you need economic solutions to economic problems. That if you can get better prices for the diggers, if you can formalize this vast informal diamond economy, then you can bring peace and development to the diamond areas.
There can be no future as long as the people that are working in these areas do not benefit. We believe that the communities, first of all, are the priority.
O primeiro objetivo da iniciativa é educar os garimpeiros.
Generally speaking, diggers will have an idea what a low-value diamond is worth. It's when you get into the better stuff that people actually don't know what they're worth. That's when people get cheated, and that's where the huge markup is between the miner and the exporter.
Why is it that a diamond in Sierra Leone can be bought for $20 and then sold in Antwerp for $1,500? It's perverse. What really needs to happen is for the diamond industry and for governments to actually start investing in their development, to start paying a decent wage to the people that are working there, but also a realistic price for the diamonds.
What we have to do is find ways to validate African diamonds, not just because they're conflict-free, but because they come from developmentally sound sources, that people actually get a fair price for the diamonds.
É uma tarefa digna, mas difícil, pois a história mostrou como os diamantes garimpados em zonas de conflito africanas foram mal aproveitados, trazendo trágicas consequências para a região.
At the end of the day, what is going to eradicate conflict diamonds, what is going to be an end to the blood diamond trade, is going to be the end of the conflict where these diamonds are being extracted from in the first place.